Tobias Bandel, welcome to the Forum for the Future of Agriculture, where you have just given the second inspirational talk of the day with your colleague Cherry from BlackRock. You are from the Land Banking Group, and I know that you began by saying nature is not business as usual. So let's start from there and move out towards why you were standing on stage with an investment officer.
Yeah, I guess I was sharing the stage with BlackRock, which was to me also a surprise. I mean, it was a planned surprise, but a new gesture because we both have the same challenge that one of our most reliable service provider doesn't perform anymore. My business case as a farmer representing the Land Banking Group is based on a reliable supply of ecosystem services such as clean water, fertile soil, etc., but that doesn't work anymore, specifically not on the previous situation where this was provided for free. So that has changed. At the same time, what we hear from the BlackRocks of this world, but also other asset managers, that they realize that they have ignored, at least undervalued nature, and now see that basically need to price in natural capital risks because real assets are at stake. So this is where the both worlds come together, and which is a very nice momentum to see this new ally coming on stage while we talk a lot about financing, that you then also have these stakeholders on stage.
So are we saying that climate risk is almost a missed investment opportunity that can now be looked at? And do you see it through the same lens?
It is like risk reduction is one way of an opportunity, like to finance a transition towards more regenerative, de-risked supply chains. Certainly enterprises who do this, and I gave this example of one of our clients, they are from a financial market perspective the more interesting enterprise because they did their homework. We see this now mirrored basically by the banks who say, if you can disclose this critical natural capital exposure data, basically we have a more complete view of your risk profile, meaning you get better lending conditions and they have to pay a few less base points on tax. So this is where basically the two worlds come together.
So nature as an asset, nature as a business case, and of course you focus very much on looking at it on the balance sheet, but you talked about monetization and measurability as two key aspects in our new age agri-food system to make it work.
Yeah, this is really the basis of the Land Banking Group. I mean, we as three founders came from different backgrounds, but pretty strong sustainability consulting background, where we increasingly got frustrated that although there were quite some significant sustainability budgets available, but with all these projects, hopeful projects, we always got stuck in pilot world. Yeah? So you got some budget, but then you say, well, this really makes sense. Why don't you take this to scale, dear company? They say, well, if we do this at scale, if we implement regenerative farming practices across all our cacao suppliers, we basically maneuver ourselves out of the market because sourcing sustainably is actually a competitive disadvantage because it just adds cost. And then with this frustration, we went to the chartered accountant and said, like, what are we doing wrong as a sustainability industry? We heard it this morning. We drive farmers crazy with audits, with bureaucracy. We collect so much data, but still it lands sort of in a parallel universe. Yeah? It doesn't change core business. And they then basically said, yeah, it's good timing, the chartered accountants, because we just recently realized nature is finite, quote. It now becomes a risk, so we are aware if somebody can demonstrably show us that they don't just spend money for, get pictures in a sustainability report, but sort of outcome-based, result-based, invested into de-risking, then we can consider this an asset because it basically creates corporate value. It's an investment into business continuity, and this is sort of this shift which we need to do, and which is basically our underlying rules of the game of our tool Landler, that we measure outcomes in an identifiable way, meaning you can at any point of time evaluate whether something is happening on the ground, that also the investment contract you hold is really controllable in a legal way, and that you can prove the future economic value.
And of course at the forum we talk about the how-to quite a lot. So how is that going, breaking out of pilot land, pilot world? How is that going, and how does your voice resonate with the people in the room at the forum today, do you think?
I hope that we heard in the morning this call for pragmatism and also de-dogmification, if that's an English word. But I guess coming from the Save the World movement, we have very good ideas how the world should work, but this is a huge development barrier because we have this wishful thinking, this strong vision, and if we deviate, we call people greenwashers and I don't know what. But this sort of focus on outcome-based, like do whatever you want, whatever's written on your doorbell, organic, non-organic, regenerative, ecological, intensification, no matter what, we just check over time if it has a result. Yeah? So also give back as a gesture to the farmers, the entrepreneurship. They know best what to do on the land. It's not to us to say plant cover crop and get a carbon credit. Yeah? So they need to look at the field, implement practices which are economically meaningful, and if they're economically meaningful, they also increase the resilience, and that is what we measure. But in a non-bureaucratic way, the only thing they have to do is to upload the shape files, the digital format, which at least in Europe, every farmer has as part of the subsidy application, and nothing else, no questionnaires, no audits. So the only thing they need to do is to drag and drop the shape file, and then basically this is matched with remote sensing and AI-based data on natural capital development, which is then sort of the underlying for the monetization.
Well, I'm sure it was an inspirational talk for the forum, and I'm sure it's inspiring for farmers to hear how you're trying to cut through those layers of difficulty and bureaucracy. One last thought, one last step. What's the next thing that you and in association with BlackRock are going to do next? Where's your focus for the rest of 2025?
It's really this focus to crack the nut, which we have already because we have audited transactions, but to sort of channel through at scale. And we have a few clients now where we're not, a few hectares, but a few 100,000, if not millions hectares now being uploaded as we speak, to really channel this through, package the measurement into a financial product with an investment bank, and then have this traded towards BlackRock if needed. Not everybody wants to sell it to beyond value chains. For some of our customers, it's also interesting to keep it, like hold this claim, because then they can use it towards a bank, towards insurance, and say, I invested purposefully in risk reduction. That's why I want to get better lending conditions. So really to take this investment case, we are called a nature fintech, but we're really a fintech. I was consulting sustainability, compost workshops, etc. But I really want to make this translation exercise happen from sustainability metrics into financial reporting.
Well, we wish you very good luck with it, Tobias. Thank you very much for joining us at the forum.
Thank you.